Most people will never build real wealth, not because they do not earn enough, because nobody ever showed them how the system actually works. By the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why that is and what to do differently. No jargon, no get rich quick, just the framework most people never get taught. This channel is about that difference. No hype, no noise, just the mindset and frameworks that actually move the needle. If that sounds useful, keep watching and feel free to subscribe. Picture the last time you looked at your bank account and felt behind. You are working, you are responsible, you are doing what you were told to do, and it still does not add up. That feeling is not a discipline problem. It is not an income problem either. It is a knowledge gap, and the system you are handed was never designed to close it. Whether you make minimum wage or $100,000 a year, most people feel this same gap, because when you finally reach the income you work toward, it never feels like as much as you imagined. The financial system most people grow up in is built around consumption, not accumulation. Buy a car on credit, get a degree on debt, rent until you can afford to own. Spend your 20s paying off the cost of just becoming an adult. By the time most people are ready to start building, they already feel a decade behind, and in a lot of cases, they are right. But here's what matters. It is not too late, and it's not your fault. When people feel behind, they usually blame themselves. The data backs this up. Research published across multiple institutions, including studies cited by the U.S. Congress and a National Bureau of Economic Research, consistently finds that people with lower financial literacy are significantly more likely to carry high-interest debt, pay unnecessary fees, and accumulate less wealth over their lifetime, even when their income is above average. It's not just a willpower problem. It's often a knowledge gap disguised as a character flaw. So what is actually missing? 3 things that almost no one teaches you. The first is the difference between income and wealth. Most people optimize for income, get a better job, ask for a raise, work more hours, pick up overtime. Income matters. But here's what income without a system actually does. It flows through your hands and into someone else's. Wealth is what you keep and what you put to work. The highest earners are not always the wealthiest. The wealthiest people are often the ones who understood early that a dollar not spent is not just a dollar saved, it's a dollar that can compound.
The second thing almost nobody teaches you is how to see the invisible costs in your financial life. Not just rent and groceries, the real costs. The opportunity cost of a $600 monthly car payment invested over 10 years instead. The cost of leaving your savings sitting in a bank account earning almost nothing while inflation quietly erodes its value. The cost of waiting until you feel ready to start investing. I knew investing mattered when I was 18, but I did not start for several years, and I will be honest about why. I kept telling myself the same thing a lot of people tell themselves. After I graduate, after my next raise, once I have a better job and more money to work with, then it will matter. Sound familiar? It is the same reason you wait until January 1st to make a change you could make today. But here is the truth about waiting. There will never be a perfect moment. The best day to start was yesterday. The second best day is today. The worst day is tomorrow, because tomorrow has a way of becoming next month, and next month has a way of becoming 5 years from now. A dollar invested today is worth more than a dollar invested tomorrow. Not because of motivation, not because of discipline, because of math. Even if it is $7, even if you skip one coffee and invest that instead of spending it, that is a better long-term decision than waiting until you can invest $500 a month. Anything today beats everything later. These are not dramatic mistakes. They are quiet ones. And by the time you notice them, years may have already passed. They compound in the wrong direction just as efficiently as good decisions compound in the right one. The third thing almost nobody talks about is the assumption the system makes about your role in it. You are supposed to be the consumer, not the owner. Buy the products, not hold the equity. Subscribe to the service, not invest in the company. This is not a conspiracy. It is simply how a consumption economy works. The people who build wealth are usually the ones who eventually figure this out. Maybe they read the right book. Maybe they had a mentor. Maybe their parents taught them. I remember the moment it clicked for me.
I was watching a video and someone said something that stuck. They talked about how people will spend hundreds of hours leveling up a character in a video game, grinding for better stats, better gear, building something from nothing, night after night, and then log off and do absolutely nothing to level up their actual life. Same energy, same ability to focus, same patience for long-term progress, just pointed at something that disappears when you close the app. That hit different, because I had done exactly that, and I realized the skill was never the problem, the direction was. But here is what changes the moment you see it. Once you understand the difference between participating in the economy and owning part of it, everything shifts.
Here is a number that puts this into perspective. If you invest $100 a month starting at age 25 and earn roughly the long-term historical return of the S&P 500, about 10% annually, you end up with around $630,000 by age 65. Over those 40 years, you only contributed $48,000. The other $584,000 is the system doing the work for you. Not talent, not luck, just time and consistency applied to the right framework. Now imagine $200 a month. That grows to about $1.2 million. $300 becomes roughly $1.9 million. $500 grows to over $3 million. The math does not change, only the outcome does. And if those numbers feel far away right now, remember what was just said. Anything today beats everything later. Even $50 a month grows to more than $300,000 over that same time period. That is not overtime, that is not a second job, that is simply playing a smarter game. None of this means your situation is hopeless. It means the opposite. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is often a gap in mindset, knowledge, and framework, not effort. Some of the hardest working people I know are not yet where they want to be financially, and some of the people who are far ahead did not necessarily work harder. They were simply playing a different game. So what do you actually do with this? Here's the framework. Call it the present and future money split. 2 categories. That is it. Present money is what it costs to live your life today. Future money is what builds the life you want later. The goal is not to eliminate the first. You still have to live. The goal is to make sure something consistently moves into the second, automatically, before the first has a chance to absorb it. Pay yourself first. Here is a way to visualize why that matters. A dollar invested in your mid-20s can grow to roughly $100 by the time you reach your late 60s, which means your $7 Starbucks is not really a $7 decision. It is closer to a $700 one. Your $20 Uber Eats becomes a $2,000 meal. Your $40 night out becomes a $4,000 night out. That does not mean you stop living your life. You only get one shot at this. It just means you start seeing the real cost of every decision and protecting your future money before today gets to spend it. Spending money is a balance between enjoying life today and thinking about tomorrow. That balance looks different for everyone, but the first step is simply being able to see it clearly. On this channel, you will go deeper into exactly how to structure that balance. But even separating the two imperfectly is where everything starts. Because the next time you are about to spend $7, you might ask yourself one simple question. Would I spend $700 on this? If the answer is no, maybe that $7 goes somewhere better instead. Then, close the knowledge gap. Not all at once, one concept at a time. How compound growth works, how tax-advantaged accounts function, how to evaluate whether debt is working for you or against you. Each one is a lever, and every lever you understand is one more thing working in your favor instead of against you. You were not born bad with money. You were just handed a map with key parts missing. The good news is, the roads exist, and now you know where to look.